Hello, I am Angela Schneider, and I am here with fellow directors Annie and Alyssa, and we are excited today to talk to you a little bit about networking your business and ways that you can find new contacts and get leads. So we're excited about that. I think first we're going to talk about warm leads. So Alyssa, you want to share a little bit about referrals?
Yeah, absolutely. I use referrals a lot at my parties. I didn't used to. When I was a brand new consultant, I didn't really know that I was supposed to, and I didn't really know where to fit it in my class of how to do referrals. And so what I started doing was I have at all my parties, I have my guests do the satin lips set. And so during the satin lips mask, I just say, oh my gosh, this works best if we let it sink in and work for a little while. So while that's doing, we're going to play a game. And I'm going to give you the opportunity to earn some prizes and some tickets. And so what I do is I have the gals pull out their cell phones and I say, we have this great opportunity for women to be able to be gifted with a free pampering package through our Gift of Friendship program. And so what I want you to do is grab your phones and write down the names and phone numbers of any woman you know who could use some free pampering in her life, because everyone can. And so they jot down those names and numbers, and I give them time to write. And if they're kind of having trouble getting started, I start throwing out ideas of who do you know that works at a school? Who do you know that's a new mom? Who do you know that has small children or is involved in a lot of things, or a corporate woman that maybe it's really busy and needs some pampering? Giving them ideas of who to be looking for in their phones. And so they write those down, and then I give them a little ticket for each name and phone number that they put down, and whoever has the most, more than 10, gets a prize right at the stop. Angela, I know you do where they get to pick a present out of the middle of the table, right?
Yes.
Can you talk about that a little bit?
I do mine similar. Sometimes they use a little bit different verbiage. The Gift of Friendship and Pampering is awesome. Another one I use to get women to give me the sharpest women in their list is to look through your phone, take a moment to look through your phone before we begin this game or contest, and I want you to think of the 20 sharpest women you know. That I'm working on a new portfolio for the company, and I really want to gather feedback on our new products from really intelligent, sharp women. So think about the sharpest women you know that are in your contact list on your phone, and give them some time to scroll through that. And so that you're not just getting the A's in their phone, and having them really think about those sharp women who would give some great feedback. And my prize for it is I lay enough prizes for every woman in the middle of the table. And they can be inexpensive things, eyeshadows, or discontinued products, some nail polish or whatever. But a little wrapped gift for each person. And as soon as they get to 25 names, they get to take a prize. And that does two things that since I've changed to that. One is my verbiage as I'm saying to them automatically expects that everybody's going to get to 25 names. Like, that's your assignment, this is school, get to 25 names. And since I've started that, I haven't left a class without everybody writing down 25 names, and everybody loves that instant gratification of pulling that gifty off the table as well.
The other thing I love about that is that you're asking for the really sharp, great women in their lives, so you're being really intentional with who they're sharing with you. Another thing that I've done that's similar to that with working with my existing customers is going back to my top, maybe my 10 best customers, and calling them and saying, Susie, I'm so excited, you're one of my best customers, and I have the opportunity to have 10 women that I select, that get to select 10 women in their lives who are really, really sharp and smart, that are going to give me their opinion and help me with the portfolio. And who would those women be that you would just love and know would give me good feedback? And so that's something that you can do if you have a large customer base that maybe those women don't want to be hostesses for you, don't want to gather those people together, but they're more than willing, because you've built that relationship with them, they're more than willing to share those people with you, and then those women are more likely to book because they know Susie and know that she loves you, so they know they're going to love you too.
I love that. As I said in the beginning, we first started out with warm leads, and kind of the difference between what we call warm leads or cold leads is warm leads is people that you already have some sort of a connection to, so that someone has connected you to them. Another way that you can use those referrals is asking the person that referred them to contact them first. That makes them even a little hotter. Annie's going to share with us, she is a super savvy warm chatter at meeting people. And why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Oh, I love to. Well, I have to share with you, first of all, that warm chatting is actually building a relationship with someone that maybe you just met or that you want to become friends with. And I have to share with you, I've always been very fearful of warm chatting and making new friends in like the grocery store or at the department store. It was just very scary to me. But I knew that I needed to do some warm chatting in order to meet more women to complete my DIQ process. So it was a really big learning experience for me, and it really made me step out of my comfort zone and out of the box and really, just make my thinking a little bit bigger. And I met a wonderful, beautiful woman named Courtney at DIT Week, and DIT Week is Director in Training. And she was my roommate, and she said, "Oh, Annie, I love to warm chat." She's a very high personality, and I said, "You do? Really? Are you sure?" She said, "Yes, I love warm chatting." I said, "Well, what do you say?" And she gave me some really great verbiage that made me feel very comfortable using. And the verbiage she uses is, you know what, this may sound a little crazy, but I'm a sales director or a beauty consultant with Mary Kay, and you are just way too cute not to ask me this. But I am looking for some beautiful women, sharp women, to be a model at my next skincare class, or if you're doing a portfolio, model career portfolio. Is there any reason why you want to get together with me? Because when you say that, you're saying, oh my gosh, it's kind of crazy. Well, yeah, it's kind of weird, trying to meet some people and get your name out there. It might be kind of weird asking because you're not expecting that. So you're kind of laying that out there, and so it kind of takes the pressure off of you. And then giving them a compliment, saying they're cute, or complimenting them on their outfit or their hair, or just a genuine compliment that you would, if you had any rapport with them at all, which I think is great. And then, asking them to be a model. I mean, who doesn't want to be a model? That is just really fun. So I have used that verbiage, and I can't tell you how comfortable and confident I feel using that. But one thing I want to remind you is that you probably need to find a verbiage that works for you and what makes you feel very confident. And that makes me confident. So I know that a lot of other women enjoy that line, and I hope that helps you too.
I love that you said warm chatting is about building relationships, and a lot of times our fear from warm chat is our fear of rejection or our fear of being uncomfortable, but you need to remember, and your verbiage so speaks to that, is that we are making other women feel special. We're making them feel important by approaching them and with that line. And I had the privilege of just having lunch a little bit ago with one of my consultants who was my first ever warm chat, and was scared to death. But when she recounts the story, what a blessing it was in her life, not just this opportunity, but that day, and the compliments that I gave her, and that I wanted her to be a model. So, that's something that we need to remember, is just getting out of our own way in warm chatting, because whether the person takes you up on the opportunity or not, you've taken the time to give them a compliment. I want you to share quick, Annie, the story about offering people a piece of gum. If that's all it is, because I love that, and I think of you, and not all the time. So I want you to share that quickly.
Oh, well, sometimes when you are feeling, you get a rejection, you get a no, sometimes you feel kind of down, but you do need to have that mind shift, because it really is all about your thinking. And what I tell myself is that, Alyssa, if I offer you a piece of gum, would you like a piece of gum, Alyssa?
Absolutely.
Awesome. Well, good. I'm so glad that you
say no.
That's okay. That's okay. Well, I'm glad that you're taking my gum. Okay, that makes me feel good. Angela, would you like a piece of gum? Thanks. Okay. Well, you just need a piece of gum. Maybe you had garlic or something. But you just have to think about it as that, you're just offering just offering someone something, and something simple as gum. Some people say yes, and some people say no. So
I love that, because we are all, we do not let our feelings get hurt if somebody doesn't want gum. We just move on.
That's right.
whether we're getting to know in warm chat or anything else. What else would you guys like to talk about in how you meet people and get leads?
Angela, I know you worked a lot from some more cold leads. You want to talk a little bit about that and the difference with cold leads?
Yes, I
and
started
warm
to talk
leads?
about those warm leads, and those are a couple ways. When you have a connection, when you have a mutual friend, or when you've developed a relationship. But there are ways that you can get lists, and that's something you can talk to your director a little bit about more. Whether the place that you live, you can get a list from a bridal company, or a list of new mothers, or new women that have moved into the community. And those are lists that you can call those people. And again, that's a little feeling of uncomfort as you're calling a person that you've never talked to on the phone, but that is actually how I met Amy. Is she was calling the list, and I happened to be a wrong number, and thank goodness for that. But she found that connection on the phone, and that's something we could talk about forever, but it is a source, and it's something you can talk to your director about, because it's a source of people, but it's great to use a very specific verbiage and script when you're working with those, and those are available from your director as well. And then on those calls, you'll, even though it's cold to begin with, you'll try and find a connection or something that you have in common right away. But those can be powerful things as well. Have either one of you guys used fish bowls? You want to talk about that?
Yeah, fish bowls. I haven't done fish bowls for a while. And again, they're very fun. But basically, with a fish bowl, what you do is you have a fish bowl, like a glass bowl or a box, that you take and you put at a store, maybe a boutique, a gas station, somewhere where there's a lot of women going through. I have a consultant who's moved several times in her business who's utilized fish bowls a lot at her nail salon and those kinds of things where there's lots of women. And so you take it, and basically women have the opportunity to enter their name into a drawing to win maybe a free satin hand set or something like that. And then you do the drawing, and one person will win the satin hand set, but you've got the names of all the women who have entered into that. And I just this last weekend heard an interesting twist with the fish bowls of really helping them to be more productive, because sometimes when you just have something sitting there, people look at it and go, I don't want to take the time to do that. But if you can get someone who works at that store to be the kind of the keeper of the fish bowl, and to really be encouraging people to enter into that drawing, and then maybe you give that woman that's your fishbowl guardian, you give her like $1 in free product for each name that goes into the drawing or something. That can really help to make sure that you're getting more names. And it's really important with referrals, with all of these things that we're working with, that you're not using just one method to get names for your business. So you don't want to just have a fishbowl out and not be doing anything else. It's really important to be getting names from 3 or 4 different sources. I think is really important to keep our business well-rounded.
I love that you said that. Very important, even from the beginning, to kind of pick out some areas that you are comfortable with and be running with 3 or 4 of them all of the time, so that you never run out of leads, that you're always going to have a constant supply, and that they're kind of coming from different sources. So I love that you mentioned that. Anything else you guys want to talk about with marketing yourself?
I did just have one other thought pop in my head, and that was when I was a newer consultant, I used to go through the newspaper and look at, for example, new moms, look at the birth announcements in the newspaper, or wedding announcements, and calling those women and offering them my services as a consultant, for a mommy and me pampering package, or for a bridal makeover or something like that. And so that would be another option of a way that you would have women that you would have a reason to call them. And with Facebook and Google and all those things, it's pretty easy to find people's contact information that way.
Awesome. One is just getting yourself out there and networking, whether it be if you've moved into a new area or in a larger area that has a networking group. That is specifically what it's designed for small business people to help each other, or for you to meet new people. But always remembering, if you're in a formal networking environment like that, or a more informal, that you've just started a new Bible study or started a new mom's group or something like that, that the way you present yourself and are out and about with your dress, with your attitude, with the smile on your face and your eye contact, and the way you present and talk about yourself and your business is really the biggest key there. Whether you, again, are being very intentional about networking and meeting people, or it's just a trip to the grocery store, those more informal things.
I just want to add to that too. I did recently move about a couple months ago, and I did join a new mommy's group, which has been wonderful. I have gotten some wonderful customers and wonderful friendships, first of all, from those new mommy's groups, and making connections with women that I have come in with. You know, 10 years ago, a mommy's group wouldn't be for me,
Right.
but now that I do have children, that is where I have my connections. So going to places where you have connections with other women, like if you are a mom, you know, going to places where other moms will be with children, like a play place or a play zone. I've done that a lot of times too, just letting the kids play and making connections with the women there. So that's really helpful as well.
And connections are what it's all about.
That's right.
Whether you're joining these group and making friends, or you're making connections with people online in Facebook or LinkedIn or things like that, that we need to remember that these connections are important. Sometimes we are so excited in these other forms that we just talked about, leads and things like that, of getting the immediate model, getting the model to the next event. But some of these methods, which is why it's important to have several, take time. It takes time to build relationships, takes time to build connections, and it may not be that person that you made friends with, but it may be their sister, their sister-in-law, their friend's friend of their friend's friend down the line that will be your next recruit. So remembering that as well. Well, thanks for taking time to listen to us on networking, and best of luck as you continue to make connections and build your business.